Welcome to Costa Travels. Welcome, YouTubers. Here we are in Harlingen. Of course, back to Harlingen we go. And this time we're gonna go check out this cabbage patch and cabbage patch. I meant to say pumpkin patch. Pumpkin. I don't know why I got cabbage in my mind. I don't know, maybe because I remember a story one time when I worked at Channel 5. We brand new reporter and we, well, not we, but the people there, the management sent her and I to a cabbage patch to do a story on Cabbage Patch Kids. Remember that? I don't know if you all remember that. Man, well, she was not happy. She didn't want to start her career by doing a story on cabbage patches. Now, I'll never forget that. Well, she wasn't happy, but then she turned out to be one of the best reporters ever. I won't mention her name because she was not happy that day, but you all really know her here in the Rio Grande Valley. She had a lot of jobs. She worked here and then she left for a little while, and then she came back, and like many do, many come and go as they go and explore better revenues, more money. That's the name of the game. But look at this beautiful cross here with these pumpkins. Excuse me, pumpkins all over the place. There's a story that I remember too with pumpkins, and we used to go cover uh, pumpkin carving contest. And some people are so talented. I remember that, especially the story when one time went and helped a friend, but they had some liver problems, and she went up to the hospital up in San Antonio, Methodist Hospital in San Antonio, great hospital. Was when we arrived, and they told us it wasn't looking good, and they didn't give her much of a chance to survive. And so we had to stay, and it was sad to hear that she was very young. I don't believe she was even 30, maybe 30 the most, 30 years old. And what it's got to do with this, it was a sad time in my life with having a good friend being so sick and so close to death. But for a while it looked good. It turned out for the better. I mean, it turned out good. So, but what I remember of the pumpkins, they had this pumpkin uh, carving contest there at the hospital. And I guess it must have been like around this time because it was many years ago. I'd say more than maybe 7 years ago, or could have been that long. But every time I go have my little break and I go to the cafeteria and have a great bite to eat, people that might know me, I was kind of a little chunky back then. I was chunky when I was a kid too. So then I got skinny. I got skinny when I got drafted into the military, but I was already too skinny as I went in. I was very thin and kind of skinny, 115 pounds, but I was a kind of little guy. And but I remember I was a little fat before that when I was in my young age, like in my tens. I guess my mother fed me pretty good. And parents always took good care of me, so I ate good. Especially this time of year, I used to love pumpkin pie and chocolate cake. Oh, chocolate cake with yellow inside. That's a big favorite over there in the Midwest, in Chicago, the Chicago area. But getting away off track here with the pumpkins. Anyway, they had these contests, and man, I wish I had have some pictures. I'm gonna look to see if I can find those pictures of back then. I did take pictures, but telephone wasn't around yet. So I don't know what I did with all those pictures, but if I can find some of the SD cards or that I took the pictures with, and no, I don't think I will, but if I do, I will post them. And man, they were good. These people were carvers, man. They carve a Dracula, a witch, you name it, and they carve it, and they all bring it into the contest that at the hospital they will compete there for that month. Like I told you, I really enjoyed it because it was enjoyable to go eat, and then kids picking pumpkins here. There's the kids trying to pick it up. Do you think they would be successful? I don't know. What do you think? Let's see. I don't know. You try to get root. No, root. No. Nah, okay. It says don't pick up the pumpkins, but if he can't read. But the sister's coming to help. It's a little stronger. Okay, let's take this one. Yeah, never mind. Well, I don't know. I don't think they were successful. But like I said, the contests were really good. And I remember too here then, because I had to go to the hospital after she came back, and then she would go to the hospital here. And a year later, 'cause, she did survive. She did good, thanks to her sister. Her sister helped her a lot. She stayed with her for like at least 6 months. I had to go back to work, but she stayed up there and she would help her sister and make sure that all the paperwork was getting done. And sometimes they would not want to do anymore. She had to go to a different hospital. So she went to another hospital where they did a better job, and they finally did nurture her back to health, and she did great. The girl did great. She survived the liver. No transplant yet. I don't know. For some reason, they just don't give you a transplant if they don't think you got to take care of your body, I guess. And so there was no transplant until who knows when they were going to do this. But she did good. She survived. We went back to the Rio Grande Valley. As much as they wanted to stay up there, but somehow they didn't manage. She didn't find a job up there, and so they came back to the Rio Grande Valley. And so later on, she had 2 kids, and man, I'm telling you, she was surprising. She was a toughie. You know, doctors were even afraid for her because of her state. You know, that she was too weak or could not survive giving birth and that. But you know what? She did. She gave birth to 2 beautiful boys, and years later, I really kind of lost touch with them, and just managed to just they managed somehow, and they did good. And she was married, and she had 2 kids, and I saw some videos that she would really be a great mom. She was a great mom, and but sad to say, uh, finally I saw on Facebook one time that she had passed away. She didn't make it. She, I don't know why they never gave her a transplant. I don't know how those things work. If you people who do know, let us know and explain to people who are struggling with some kind of like they need some kind of transplant, like kidneys, lungs, or heart, whatever. I know that you can be too old to have a heart transplant. My dad died of a heart problem, and he was already like almost 80 some years old, so he really didn't do it. Didn't give much of a chance. As a matter of fact, they gave him 3 days. He said, "Can I have 3 months?" I said, "No." Well, wish they could, but they just couldn't. So I'm sorry about all these sad stories, but this is a beautiful pumpkin patch here in Harlingen, Texas, at the church. I hope you all come back and visit here and enjoy it. Maybe I have a better story next time. But from Harlingen, Texas, this is Costa Travels, and please don't forget to subscribe and like. See you all the next time.